Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 7 Commonwealth destroyer Haida. Now the Haida is a ship that I've recently picked up. It's been around for a while, but it's new for me, and I came about it through a King of the Sea container.
Action stations.
Now, how do you get a King of the Sea container? Well, it's I think the first time they rolled that idea out in Wargaming, it's probably at least a year ago. And the idea was you could get crates by watching the King of the Sea tournament on Twitch. Well, I wasn't able to complete it last time, but this time when the King of the Sea rolled around, I was able to participate enough to earn the last couple of things that I needed in order to pick it up. So, of course, like most crates, there are a lot of different things that it could be. I was, as a guy that really probably enjoys playing destroyers more than anything else, really hoping for either Haida or Yudachi. And it turns out that I ended up with Haida, so I was very happy about that. This is the first game that I have played in the ship. You can see I've got a non-standard premium camo for the ship that I won during some event a year or more ago, and it's just been sitting in my inventory. Matchmaking in this game, pretty good. No CB for starters. In terms of cruiser threat, well, Miyoko's always a big threat to pretty much any DD. Those guns hit very hard and are very accurate. Leander, it can smoke up. It's definitely a threat. The guns, well, they also hit pretty hard. If you angle up, you might be able to avoid some of the damage. And by angle up, if you're unfamiliar with what I mean by that, I just mean that if you present a very narrow profile to them, they might have a hard time doing a lot of damage to you because some of their shells might bounce. Now you can see I've got torpedoes coming here. Now what did I do here? Well, I backed into the cap. Why do I do that? Well, I do that because if I need to run, I want to be able to run at full speed. If I'm nose into, say, a torpedo strike or a Miyoko or any enemy ship really, and I need to try and escape, I want to be able to do so at high speed. If, for example, someone is just blind firing my smoke and managing to hit me like that, if I'm in reverse, I can only move so fast. But if I'm moving forward, well, then I can move at the full speed capability of my ship. And that's what I want. Now the Haida, if you're unfamiliar, has a rolling smoke, which has a very long duration, during which, if you're moving at 1/4 speed, you remain hidden. It's really very nice. As you can see, I got 24 seconds left here. Now if I were to slow down, it would just cover me right back up. The guns are great. They're 120s that reload every 5 seconds, which is really nice. Got nice flat arcs, as you can see. They hit pretty hard. The HE shell damage maximum is 1900. AP 2100. My smoke wears out just in time for the Anshan to be moving. His guns are still in the process of turning around, so he didn't have much chance there, but you can see that he was trying to get torpedoes off anyway, not that they're going to do anything. And there's a KGV right there, and there's also a Leander right there, which I think I might have missed in the game initially until it started firing at me, and then I said, well, I better get out of here. That's the Leander Hydro. Another reason the ship is a threat. You can see I've switched to AP, hoping the Leander will push out here. Again, bear in mind, this is my first game in the ship. As it stands right now, both teams have lost one ship. The bad guys have lost the Anshan that just sank. Our team lost to Surrey. Now I have to be careful of torpedoes from the Leander, but with the Anshan's hull sitting right there, probably have a little bit of protection from torpedoes, at least for another few seconds. Which direction is he going? Just couldn't get the timing right. You know, there were moments when I could see his guns firing, but I wasn't zoomed in enough to be really precise about where he was.
Engine boost deactivated.
Now the torpedoes, as you can see on the mini-map there, that's the blue circle, the dark blue circle, have an 8-kilometer range. They hit fairly hard. And the KGV finishes off our Caracciolo. You can also single fire the torpedoes, or fire them all at once. You've only got one torpedo rack, and Leander is on the move. And I'm going to get my rolling smoke going again. Trying to slow down enough to get covered by it. Leander's going to try and angle into me here and minimize the damage I can do with AP, so I'm switching to HE. But that means he's showing some side to some ships that are very capable of blapping him. And the Grashpe finishes him off. Now the KGV is moving forward. Remains to be seen whether he's going to move forward enough to begin taking fire from me, or whether he's just going to sit there and get shot at by the Bayern, Grashpe, and, well, I think the Bujani is otherwise engaged. And I'm just going to move forward far enough to be able to get guns on him. Still got 32 seconds left on my smoke. Get my own hydro going. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to get some fires burning on the KGV, which he immediately repaired, so I'm going to try and get another fire started. Now, I have no idea what the Grafspé player was thinking here. I mean, plainly he wanted to get torpedoes on this KGV, but he literally got between me and the KGV here, which makes it very difficult for me to get torpedoes out. I mean, he couldn't have placed himself more directly between us and then sank. Not much chance for me to use my torpedoes there, and now KGV's moving, which makes it a much more difficult target. I'm working hard to avoid being spotted here, because the little bit of time that I've been talking in the last minute or so, well, we've lost a lot of ships. So we lost the Caracciolo, we lost the Iron Duke, the Surrey, the Grashpe, Furataka, Farragut, and Anshan. We're down to 5 ships, the bad guys still have 9. So, the writing's on the wall about how this game's going to go. First 2 miss entirely. I counted on him turning after those went by. And I do manage to land 1 and get a flood. Gotta watch the island. I don't want to go nose into that. I have to be able to maneuver. Smoke's back up, but I don't have anybody to spot. So I'll shoot at the Myoko until KGB, there he is. Backed out of my own smoke there. Trying like mad to get another fire started here. And I give up and say, well, let's see what damage I can do with the AP. Again, first time in the ship, really just kind of testing it out. Seems apparent this is going to be a loss anyway, so let's just see what these guns do. Really not a heck of a lot. Might be a lot more effective against cruisers. I'm aiming high enough to be able to hit some superstructure, I think. Let's see, I'm switching back to HE. Still got 25 seconds left on my smoke. I'm hoping KGB is going to go down to these torpedoes from the Bajani. And he does. So, that's great, but now we're down to 3 ships. Bayern, Bajani, and myself.
Engine boost deactivated.
So, it's not looking good for the good guys. Bajani, you're gonna see him sailing broadside things in a way that just makes it kind of a minor miracle that he's still in the game at this point. Just trying to put some in the middle there in case Miyoko does any maneuvering. Miyoko's angling up to Bajani. You can see Bajani's angled away a little bit from the Miyoko, but between the Miyoko and the Königsberg, and then out there the Mutsu, Bajani's not got much of a chance here. He's doing what he can by angling. And I do get lucky enough to land a torpedo there. Now Bayern's got Pyotr Velicki, yeah, on the starboard side behind him. Well, directly behind him now. Königsberg on the other side. Königsberg, it's got a lot of Daka. Those guns are pretty decent, and Bayern, well, it's low tiers. Given the situation with the game, I don't really think there's much chance of winning, but I do see an opportunity here against the Mutsu. Now the Mutsu's had a great game. You can see he's sunk 3 ships. I know I have the Mutsu. It's a very fun battleship to play, especially if you're top tier, and of course you're not top tier often, and in this case he's mid tier. But I see an opportunity here because he's kind of nosed into an island. He's going to have to anticipate me arriving on one side or the other. I've still got a hydro. The range on the hydro on this thing is not long, but it'll help me spot his torpedoes a little bit earlier. Yeah, Mutsu has torpedoes. A lot of players who are unfamiliar with the ship, especially if they're in battleships, especially if they're in a battleship in a low tier match, won't consider the possibility of a battleship having torpedoes, and they'll run alongside of it trying to get a broadside shot at point blank range, only to eat a face full of torpedoes. So I know the torpedoes are going to come. I just have to try and land these torpedoes. I'm guessing the player is a pretty good player to have 3 kills. You never know, but that was my guess, so I anticipated. You can see his guns are pointed the other way. I do manage to land 3 torpedoes here, and that's just enough. There are his torpedoes. And now I have to try and avoid fire from the Legal. That is no easy task, especially at this range in our Bajani. Bajani goes down, so it's me against 5 ships, and I've got 6,400, 3,900. Yeah, it's not going to be long. Why show you this replay? Well, 2 reasons. One, first game in the ship, and I felt like it performed pretty well. 3 kills, landed 6 torpedoes, 167 shells on target. It's a very, very fun ship to play. If you like this style of play, kind of Russian gunboat, but with the option of having a rolling smoke. It is really fun. So it's one that I can really recommend, and I know that there are others who will also recommend it. So so I thought I'd share this first game with you. I'm hoping to get a chance to play it some more in the not too distant future. A lot going on in life, so might take me a few more games to get back to it, but yeah, super fun. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.